No, it was funny hearing you say that because I was having a conversation with Bakari Alexander not too long ago, and he told me that when he recruits a kid, the first thing he does is he goes and he talks to the janitorial staff and he talks to the cafeteria staff because those are the two people that see that kid in the rawest form, and just really see the character and know who that child is, and beyond the basketball, because it's easy to give your all on the court, something you're passionate about, something you love, or beyond the classroom, because but just in that raw element when that child thinks nobody's watching and nobody's really paying attention to them, that's when those people are kind of noticing and they're able to give a true assessment as to the character and the background. So I think it's huge. I think character is something that's a non-negotiable for me and for us when we're recruiting a player as well. So hearing you say that and say how important it is, talk to me a little bit about, and obviously it shifts based off of where you're at and what the academic standards of the school are. But from an academic standpoint, what are some of the things that either A, really sell a kid for you, or B, kind of make you, what, maybe this isn't the right fit? And is there ever a situation where, the academic struggles outweigh the talent on the court where you say, what, just I can't deal with it?
Well, I think it all goes back to the institution's academic support, and where that kid is, and their ability, just in their abilities to learn and their study habits. And, as a coaching staff, you don't want to take on more than you can chew, and you don't want to set a kid up for failure. Like we talked about, some of the schools that I've been at have been more of academic institutions than some of the others. And so you may have to be a little more careful as to, which kid you can recruit to be successful in that academic environment. But by and large, I like to get kids that really understand the value of getting a degree and an education, and that want to try. Your GPA is not on your college degree, but I think that nowadays, man, so many college programs have so many resources for kids that want to help themselves, that if you come in and you try, you go to study hall, you go to class, you meet with tutors, and you go above and beyond, you'll have a great chance to get your degree. So getting kids that care about that, I think, is imperative.
Makes sense, because it's a lot easier to recruit a kid and have them for 2-3 years than and then keep replacing them year after year. As you start to identify those players, when is it realistic for a guy to receive that first offer, or for you to make an offer to a guy? And what does that really mean? What does that initial offer mean, from a standpoint of, does that guarantee that kid will be playing for you if he so chooses, 2-3 years from now? Maybe he didn't develop, or maybe he didn't, talk to me a little bit about, potential versus, where a kid's at, and some of those offers. Is it based off of potential, what he could be? Or talk to me a little bit about that and how that works.
I think coaching staffs, now you're kind of starting to see the trend of coaching staffs recruiting guys early, offering them early. And a lot of them offering them early, I think, is predicated on potential, obviously. I do think that some offers have some expiration dates. And I think, most coaching staffs are offering with the intent that you're going to uphold your end of the bargain as well, right? And so I would hope that a college coach would not offer a kid without the intent to receive that commitment if that kid wanted to commit. But I think it's a two-way street, you know what I mean? I think the coaches has to have, they have an obligation to be committed to that young man, and try to help navigate him through that process as a student athlete, academically and basketball wise. But I think that sometimes, kids are so caught up in being able to put out, blessed to receive an offer by, and the rankings and all that kind of stuff, that it kind of will stop them from working. Not in every situation. Sometimes you see it, the other, effect where they'll go to an even higher level.
Right.
And so I think every individual is different. But I do think that offers do expire. Just depends on the needs of a program. Needs may change. Maybe we thought we may need it, a point guard in that, that particular class, and all of a sudden now in that class, those guys become seniors and we haven't, received the commitment. Needs change.
Right.
Kid, academically, just can't, cut it, or they don't develop, as a player, or they get in trouble, or, you know what I'm saying? So I think the variables change,
Right.
so.